Winter in East Texas. Kubota tractor being buried. A couple of trailers. Snow's coming down pretty good. It's getting all over the camera. I really need a piece of cardboard to protect this thing. Alright, I'm standing under a tree. As you can see, these pine trees are pretty much bending over. Snow's really coming down. What I'm concerned with is the amount of snow that's accumulating on these wires. If we had just a little bit of wind, it would help to knock that off and break the weight that's beginning to build up on them. I think those cables are 5/8 inch, and they look closer to about 1 inch in diameter. Everybody out here lives on grid power, so if these things come down, we're not going to have any electricity. Look at the snow coming down. Look how dense it is. This is really very cool. And it's also very cold. Here's a tree that snapped about 5 in the morning. Here's a pine tree that's leaned over with the snow. This is all around the house. Up here we can see these pines are greatly healed over. There's a couple of pine trees that I'm going to be checking on a little bit later. This one right here is about 8 inches at the base. It goes up to about 4 inches up there where it's all healed over. As soon as the snow gets off of it, it usually comes right up. Let's walk out and see what we have out here. I'll try to zoom in on this. Sorry about the shake, guys. It's hard to focus just on the wire itself. That's 2 inches of snow buildup on there. As we come back across here, some of this wire is exposed for whatever reason. I don't see any trees coming down on the power line, but I do see these little trees right here acting like they want to get to the power line if they can break. And what I will do, as soon as the snow is off of them, I'll go top them out so they can't reach the line, because that's pretty dangerous. Don't need those little suckers coming down. They're very small. They could easily break under the weight. Here's a small pine which I was planning to take down. I just hadn't gotten that far yet. It's in bad shape. Behind it, there's another pine that needs to come down. This is a cherry laurel. As you can see, it all but reached the power line. The snow out here, there's a fence. There was no appreciative wind last night, so it basically just came straight down. The snow in some places is 8 inches deep. The majority of places it's only about 4 inches. If you look down, you see where the canopies were. There's no snow. This is Tree Planet Studio, and my little peach tree is covered with snow. Let's see if I can zoom in on this little baby. If you can see it. Peach tree did okay. This dead pine that you see right here, see the bark is off of it. Since it's still up, I'm going to do a video on top loading and center loading a tree in order to bring it straight down. That ought to be interesting. A lot of work involved, but It's a cut I've used usually on residential properties, and wish I'd caught that. The snow is beginning to fall off. The air temperature is 32 degrees. At that temperature, water both thaws and freezes, or refreezes. See what the pasture looks like. I came out yesterday to videotape this pasture. You can see my tracks where I walked. I came out to videotape this thing because I thought it'd make a real nice picture. And by George, there wasn't any snow out there. Really kind of surprised me. I think it's because the cattle over there, which were just recently moved, have not had time to eat the grass. Now what's really good is I have a lot of barren spots on the driveway. You see this? These barren spots will help to melt this snow off and clean things up. I'm curious if anybody has driven the road this morning. These weeds that you see on the ground are like 6-7 feet tall. Here's a tree leaned over, heavy with grapevines. I got to get in and get all this cleaned out. This is unacceptable for being that close to the power lines. The line crew came out and cleared a lot of the dangerous trees that were here 3 times this month. They'd come out. It takes a while to get trees down, and they did a super good job. The road has had no traffic since the snow. We will walk out. I have a suspicion the mail's not going to be very timely today, if at all. And I figure, oh, big branches on the road. Let's walk down. There's probably a lot more too. This is tractor work, depending upon the size. Yeah, these are pretty big branches. I'll just go get the tractor, come clear this stuff off. I'll run up the road. Yeah, this is tractor work. That's a pretty good chunk of branch that came down. There's 2 of them actually. There's one right there that's fresh, which is dead, and then there's this big green one. And I'm not sure where it rolled out from. Well, this is winter in East Texas. Don't know if you can see how pretty it is. This is like those New England. It's like those New England things that you see. Really pretty. Well, let's go get the tractor.